what are your top 5 tips for any company that wants to make a high impact learning and development program?
So I think the first thing, the most critical thing is that performance is the North Star. So I think that you have to be intentionally and purposefully and diligently focused on people's performance and business performance, right? I think that the second thing that organizations need to be thinking about is the extent to which they can and cannot measure impact. And that's probably going to surprise a lot of people to hear me say, because the reality is that there are times where you can measure the impact of training, and then there may be some times just because of the complexities that you cannot. So, my second recommendation is just to be clear and be honest and tell the truth about what you can and cannot measure. The third recommendation that I have, kind of going back to that first point, being focused on performance. So the third thing is, rather than have a training needs analysis, I recommend a performance needs analysis. Because the training needs analysis often focuses on when do we need to have the training, how many people do we need to train, what are we going to have for lunch at the training, all of that kind of stuff. Whereas a performance needs analysis is intentionally focused on what are the business challenges or successes or opportunities, what are the performance expectations to address those business challenges or business problems, right? What are the threats to performance? So again, what I'm getting at here is, my third recommendation is to just change the discussion from tactical to strategic. And that means have a discussion that is focused on performance, right? My fourth recommendation then is to be kind to our business partners and our stakeholders and ourselves. Here's what I mean by that. Historically, we have been focused on the training, the program, the course. And we have had what I'll call an order taker relationship with our business partners and our stakeholders. So historically, our business partners and our stakeholders come to us and they say something like, we'd like 1 instructor led, 2 e-learnings, and a side order of virtual learning to go, right? That's how they're used to engaging with us. And we're used to engaging that way. Well, when we try to shift that conversation to a performance-based discussion, it could be hard. It could be difficult for our business partners, our stakeholders, and ourselves because we aren't used to having that kind of conversation. So, my fourth recommendation here is to just be kind and empathetic to ourselves as we try to shift the discussion and change the discussion. Let's not beat ourselves up if it doesn't happen immediately. Give ourselves a little bit of grace to know that while we want to change the way we engage, it might not happen immediately, but let's just keep trying. And when it doesn't happen, keep trying. And in the process, give yourself kindness and grace, and just know that it may work sometimes, and that it may not. And I wasn't able to say this, 2 years ago, maybe even a year ago, but, my fifth recommendation is to leverage artificial intelligence to work smarter, not harder, with the impact analytics work and the work that we're doing to measure the impact of training and learning on human and business performance. So those are my 5 recommendations.